I just got done watching a video of a creator that I tagged below, and she was in her video talking about how purity culture benefits nobody but men, and women have been tricked into believing that there's a such thing as good girls and bad girls, and men treat good girls better, and they don't. And she was sharing the story about a woman that she knew who had to learn the hard way this very lesson. And everybody in the comments was like, oh, well, you should have told her. You should have pulled her to the side. You should have said something. And here's a lesson that I want a lot of you to learn right now today. Sometimes you need to learn the power of shutting the hell up. As this woman stated in her video, sometimes you think you're putting on your cape and you're saving the day, and you're actually making things worse and or putting yourself in danger. How many times have we heard stories about women who thought they were saving their best friend from some sort of harm that their man is causing to them, and then now that man is stalking them too, or harming them too for having told? Or that same situation, and then the woman gets upset because they always take the man's side, so she goes and tells her man what you said, and now that woman is in danger and she's isolated from you. Or also, another point she mentioned in her video, that you're the ex of a man that was toxic. So you think you're being sister girlfriend, and you go and tell his new woman that he's abusive, and now that man is stalking you, and you escaped, but now you're back in danger for opening your big mouth. Or you go and tell the new woman how he is, and she turns out just to be just as crazy, and she's jealous and psycho, and now she's looking for you. One of the good things and bad things about us as women is that we want to try to help everybody. We think we can fix people. Sometimes you can't. And maybe there's a chance that you can, but if you do, you'll put yourself in danger. Or maybe that friend who's already being isolated from you by her man is going to completely cut you off because that man has threatened her that she should never see you again. We cannot help everyone. And not everyone wants to be helped. I think over my lifetime, everybody that tried to intervene and say something, and how many times I stopped talking to them and I was delusional and I didn't listen. Now, I wasn't delusional enough to do this particular thing, but I have heard stories of women who you think you're being a friend, and then she goes and tells her man what you said. As someone who has lived through a domestic violence situation, I was in a domestic violence shelter, and I've heard stories from women in the shelters, and just throughout the years as I've made this content since 2009, sometimes it's best to just step back and keep your mouth shut. And I get it. You love your friend and you don't want to put them in harm's way. But sometimes intervening makes the situation worse. Sometimes they tell their man what you said, and it makes it worse for them and it makes it worse for you. Sometimes if that friend comes around you when she's venting about her man, you need to keep your mouth shut. Either let her talk until she's done talking, or set a boundary and say, hey, I really don't want to hear about the horrible things going on in your relationship. Let's talk about something else. And then if she can't handle that, y'all just can't be friends anymore. And we get so, it's a good and a bad thing, because we get so emotional and we don't want our friends to get hurt, and we don't want to see bad things happen to them. And that's a good thing. That's what makes us amazing human beings. But unfortunately, sometimes a lot of us as women, I was one of them, we have to learn the hard way. And what's even more sad is that sometimes women will lose their lives defending that man. No, you don't need to reach out to his new girlfriend. If your friend asked your opinion, Tell her at your own risk, but don't start offering your opinion unsolicited and going over there and trying to put yourself in harm's way to be Superman. Please, and I know this is hard. I know it's hard, and I know it does not feel good. I know it, but you have to know when to shut up. And it might have times when the woman comes to her senses, and unfortunately, it might have times that it doesn't. But you should not, unless it's for one of your children, you should not be willing to put your life in danger to save anybody. There is no friend or person in this world besides my 2 children that I will be willing to put myself in harm's way to save. And that's just how it is. You are not immortal. You're not a superhero. You're a human being. And just like horrible things can unfortunately happen to other people, horrible things can also happen to you when you try to step up and be a hero.